So let me get this straight. Am I the only one feeling like a moss when the pressure's off? Will I ever stop? Can I break my habit? Hate everything about it. Some say static only gets you if you let it, but nothing is a promise and a chance is magic. Take one, take a million, never mind those who don't have it. Don't give up, give up. Don't give up, give up. So I'm lost again. I've gone every direction, expecting a lesson, but left with questions like where do I fit? Should I put down the pen? Cause comfort is in, according to my family and friends. Should I let this one go? Farewell to my dreams and welcome to hell. Until I'm left with nothing else, then the tears start to swell. Gotta stop thinking, I keep telling myself, don't give up, give up. They tell me, give up the dreams, give up the love, give up the hope. Where did your life go? Why can't you follow? I said, look at yourself, look at your life, look out below. You got 5 years to go before you lose control. That's why I listen to my soul. They tell me everything's been done at least once, and anything you can do, trust us, they can do better. Passions are a playtime, don't quit your day job. Poets never once paid the bills. Painters never turned the white canvas to a house in the hills. With those links will give you chills like an artist to inspire. Desiring me to be like him is fire. Gotta do everything, gotta save money, gotta stay put. Look out what you can't achieve. And if you do, you prove to make a move is crucial to your mood. Don't lose any more time, cause like us, you're gonna be righteous. Take it or leave it, but don't fight us. You're losing your mind, cause your freedom's a virus. Deny us, you pay the prices. Well, I'd rather be lost than lifeless. I won't give up, give up. They tell me, give up the dreams, give up the love, give up the hope. Where did your life go? Why can't you follow? I said, look at yourself, look at your life, look out below. You got 5 years to go before you
Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I don't have any special sound effects or anything going on yet. There we go. We got a lot going on here at John Scott's LLC bullshit. And so, yeah, things are a little crazy. But it's not going to stop us from reviewing some shorts, making sure you guys are as good of creators as you can be, right? Am I right, guys? Okay, so who here wants to go viral? Say yes or say no. You tell me. I hope you say yes. Ba-ba-bow. Okay, yeah, so I didn't, I didn't set the stream yet, and so I scheduled it 1 minute before we went live. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So if you haven't been here, I'm like catching up mentally. I'm like, okay, what the fuck was I doing? We were trying to make ads before this, and so my head is in copywriting territory. If you haven't been here before, go to shorts.reviews and submit a short, and then I'll spin a wheel, and it'll look a lot like that above my head here, and then you get to see if you get picked. It picks randomly. Oh, you know what? I have it set on the wrong thing. That's for VIPs. That's the VIP. That's the VIP screen. 1 second. I forgot that I can fix that. I just need to change it from PIP to VIP. Or the other way. There we go. There's like a bug in here or something. Bam. Okie doke. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me just give this thing a nice little spin. We'll see how it goes. If it's going to connect. That's odd. Maybe I just need to bring it back up. 1 second. Bump, 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 bump. There we go. There it is. Little rough beginning here. Damn. All right, let's go ahead and start it. I ain't worried about it. Number 4. This is called in Sports Zone. UMN Sports Zone. Oh, I had actually brought some people up to review real quick. So I'll do those.
These are 4 football
1 second.
records that may never be broken. And the number 1 spot is simply unbelievable. At number 4, Lionel Messi's 91 goals in a calendar year. In 2012, Messi scored an astonishing...
Okay, so my first critique here, and you're going to get a different opinion from different people like me, gurus, coaches, whatever you want to call them. When I hear this voice, I bail immediately because it feels like effort doesn't go into it. It's just a personal preference. When I hear this AI voice, I hear it everywhere, right? And the reason that I bail is because the AI voice can be on any channel. Like, you could take your video and you could just put it on some other sports channel and nobody would know the difference, right? And so what you need to focus on is making it yours. And that's what YouTube rewards. YouTube wants there to be different types of creators, but they also want everybody to kind of have their own brand. And if you're not doing anything different from anybody else, you're going to blend in. YouTube might not monetize you. It's like, it's not worth it for the advertisers to advertise to somebody that just is the same as everybody else, right? Because that doesn't get eyes. And so this seemed to do okay, right? And it's because your idea is good. But I'm just saying, if you want to take it to the next level, that would be my step. I'm not critiquing, or I'm not criticizing what you did. I'm just saying that would, if I were your coach, that's what I would start with. But let's continue.
These are 4 football records that may never be broken. And the number 1 spot is simply unbelievable. At number 4, Lionel Messi's 91 goals in a calendar year.
Okay, your hook, the number 1 spot is simply unbelievable. I call this a BuzzFeed hook, and it's not as powerful as a specific hook. A specific hook is like, you let me know what to be curious about, whereas BuzzFeed hook is like a general, hey, just be curious, right? And so I bring this up because specific hooks get more attention. And so if you told me that the number 1 broke the record or something like that, the number 1 broke the football record, or number 1 broke a football record, then it's more specific. Then I know what I'm curious about, right? But you say number 1 is great. Number 1 is crazy. Number 1 will blow your mind. It's like, it is a hook technically, but it's a hook that doesn't resonate with people anymore because they're sick of clickbait and BuzzFeed shit. So another thing to bring up. Everybody take that note, because even some of my VIPs are learning this right now. It's just one of those things, like, they understand curiosity, but that specific hook is hard to find. Like, how do I turn this curiosity piece into something specific? And so that just takes practice. Okay, moving on.
In 2012, Messi scored an astonishing 91 goals for club and country. Even in today's high-scoring era, no player has come close to matching that insane number. At number 3, Cristiano Ronaldo's 140 Champions League goals, the competition's all-time top. Scorer has set a benchmark that seems almost impossible to reach. Future stars would need years of dominance at the highest...
So, like, when I watch this, I'm like, okay, so it's some AI voice. There's not really, like, any personal insight. And so all I want is the list stuff. And all the extra stuff, because it's an AI voice, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what an AI believes, or what, and I don't give a fuck what an AI's opinion is, right? And so just tell me the list. That's like what I think a lot of people are feeling. Like, just tell me. Don't tell me it's cool for this reason or that reason. Just like, what's the next one? Get to it. And so that's the kind of thing that you avoid when you are a human on YouTube. Just
level just to get close. At number 2, Ryan Giggs scoring in 23 consecutive...
And then after this, like, I'm balancing Mean John like 50% and giving you like good info too, right? Because there are ways that you can fix this. And then at the end, I'm gonna tell you like the kind of hook that I would have used at the beginning, and that way I don't leave this off as like some asshole.
Premier League seasons. From 1992 to 2013, Giggs found the net in every single Premier League season he played. Staying at the top level for that long is almost unheard of. And at number 1, Pelé winning 3 World Cups. The Brazil...
I think you might get hate bait there because he said Pelé.
Legend lifted the trophy. In 1958, 1962, and 1970, no player in football history has ever won more than 3 World Cups. And with how competitive...
Man, the spacing is so odd feeling. I mean, that's just an AI voice, though.
International football has become, it's hard to imagine anyone's football history has ever won more than 3 World Cups. And with...
Okay, so it did break a record. So I would have done the broken record thing at the beginning, right? And number 1 actually broke a world record. Right? Now I'm like curious what that record is. And so that's less specific than whatever it was you said. Number 1 is insane.
Simply unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move on. I want to see how that did real quick. 15,000. Okay. Yeah. When you use an AI voice, there's like specific frequencies that YouTube can detect, and so I'm not saying that it can't work ever. I'm just saying the majority of the time, 99% of the time, when YouTube sees that frequency, the impressions are seemingly a lot lower. I'm saying seemingly because it's been my observation. I can't state that this is a fact because there's no study that's been done outside of my own, right? And so it's not like YouTube came out and said, hey, this, right? They're just very specific about making sure that people know it's AI for a reason. Think about why they do that, okay? Okie doke. Moving on to these 3 that I picked.
Opinion. Like I was on YouTube.
1 second.
Why is every creator so scared to have an opinion? Like I was on YouTube yesterday and every video is just, did you know that this random thing happened? Subscribe. Like what would I subscribe for? And I get why they do it. Maybe they don't want to upset the devs. They don't want to make a vid too long. But I'm just desperate to hear someone say what they actually think, even if I don't agree. And the ones that do, please don't stop. Why is every...
Okay, so it's more of like a community video. So let me see. Did you write something? I can't remember what number you were. It had to be one of the early ones. Can't remember if you asked me a specific question. You said, I'm really trying to nail the hooks now after watching your 2-hour class. I'd love to know if the hook is good. Okay, so the only hook that's really in here is like, what is this guy's opinion? And because I don't know you, well, hold on, let me watch it one more time.
Why is every creator so scared to have an opinion?
Okay, you don't have an answer to that, really. You have an opinion of your own that's your answer, but you're asking a question that doesn't have an objective, definitive thing. And so, like, I don't know what people are supposed to be curious about outside of, like, what is this guy gonna say? And that's not strong enough as a hook, right? It's strong enough when you're famous. If Ludwig were to say it, the people would stick around and wonder why, right? But because, like, just like me, we're small time, right? And so if I'm like, if I start with a question like, why do people hate cake? Or, I don't know, that wouldn't get attention because it's just wrong. I don't know, like anything political or whatever. Like it's this my opinion type stuff. I'm trying to think of one, but it's just like all I can think about is YouTube right now because I'm in that mindset. And because I've been doing this for so long, people might care a little bit more of what I had to say, but I'm still not popular. Sorry, there's like a bug in here or something. It's bugging the shit out of me. Bug. Okay, anyway. So yeah, just because a creator is so small, when they start with an opinion, it might not hook the way that a famous person could. And so it's kind of out of niche. I couldn't tell. It seemed like it was about games.
Creator so scared to have an opinion. Like I was on YouTube yesterday and every video...
Like a better hook would be to get specific about what you're talking about, like what creator, and then like call their opinion out or something like that. I mean, that... If you're gonna go that route, I guess that would be the better way. But really, you're just when I started and I said this is a community video, to me that means it's not gonna blow up. It's for somebody specific. Like I made a recent video on the Creator Rant channel that's just me and a whiteboard. This channel, me on a whiteboard, and it wasn't to blow up. It was like for my community, my VIPs, people that I know have an attention span. And so they'll stick around and learn what I have to teach. And so that's what that video was. It was a community video. It's not one that I need a super strong hook for because it's there for certain people. And that's what this felt like. So really, this idea doesn't lend itself to having a great hook because it's just an opinion. That's all I can say. I'll have to like look at another video to judge a hook.
Still have their first Minecraft world. Some people still have their first Minecraft world, and I am jealous of them. We had no idea our future selves would kill to get that world back. Somewhere in that lost world is a dirt house we were actually proud of, a chest full of trash that we thought was important, a strip mine that went on forever, and a base we were definitely coming back to finish. Surviving the first night genuinely terrified us. Finding diamonds felt like the kind of luck you'd brag to your friends about all week at school, and every strange sound in a dark cave was enough to make us stop in our tracks, convinced Herobrine was watching.
It's getting louder and louder.
Updates used to feel like Christmas. Now they just feel like patches. Not because the game changed, because we did. Some people still have their first Minecraft.
Okay, so it's like All right, so yeah, you're on your soapbox here. It's just one of those things like nostalgia talk, I guess. So what I could say about this is I feel like this sort of idea resonates more long form because of attention spans. Like, I'm not saying that this won't work because I know it can. It's just this isn't one of those things that you hook me and then make me think something's going to happen at the end. That's what a hook is, right? So you say, how can I improve my visual hook? Well, you got to show me something that lends me, like, it catches my attention, number one, but two, makes me curious what's going to happen at the end. And you know what happens at the end? Like, nothing. It's just a shitload of stuff that you say. And, like, you relate to people and they resonate with it, and that's great. But that's just not there's no hook for that. It's just like, hey, I'm going to say a bunch of stuff and you're going to feel things. So there's no hook here. It's just, I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong. People do this. I'm just saying hooks work better in the shorts feed. Whereas this kind of thing, when people are ready to feel and resonate, that kind of lends itself more towards long form. And is the voice fine? I think I found the right balance. I'm not so sure what that means. It's very vague. What you're asking.
Finding diamonds
I think you're asking me something that I would have had to remember the last thing I said to you, but there's no possible way I could.
found in a dark cave was enough to make us stop in our tracks.
All I know is that it seemed like the music got louder and louder and louder. I had to turn my volume down.
Convinced Herobrine was watching from the shadows. Updates used to feel like Christmas. Now they just feel like patches.
But the last thing I'm going to say here is like, okay, so what's your point? Because it seems like you're building up to something, but then there's no resolve, or there's no like lesson, or there's nothing. It's just like, hey, Minecraft used to be cool. See ya. Like, that's, I don't know, that's just kind of it. Think about the intention of the video. What are you trying to get across? What are you trying to do here? What do you want the viewer to do? What do you want them to feel, right? Because, like, the majority of people that are scrolling through YouTube Shorts are wanting to feel dopamine quick, dopamine quick, dopamine quick. And then you get this video and it's like, I don't really have time for that. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. And so this is just like an objective truth about the Shorts feed, which I go back to my original point, the long form thing. Now, I'm not saying, like, it's good. Everything you did was good. It's just the context, you know? The context of its platform. How it feels to beat Millennia without a guide. How it feels. Okay.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you did have a hook. It was just the payoff was like, man, I don't know how to say this. You had a hook, right? But the payoff was just kind of lazy, I guess. Like, as soon as people see Charlie, they bail, right? But you also, the short is so because they know, okay, he's gonna do the meme and then I'm gonna move on. And so this being such a short, there's no reason that I would ever watch it again. And so, like, you're not going to get past the 100% mark here. And so that means that it's not going to go viral because it's so short. The shorter it is, the more time people have to spend with it for it to do well. Let me see what you asked here. Because you have the hook. Like, it makes sense, but you got to show, like, how it feels. Okay, now I'm gonna see how it feels, and then you completed the hook correctly. And so what I was worried about is you were just gonna show them being beaten, and then that was it. And so that doesn't complete the hook, right? You made people curious, and then you didn't complete it, but you did resolve it. How you feel is Charlie's acting, and so you did it. Like, you correctly did this. Now it's just like doing a better one, right? That's all you got to do. Like, you nailed it. Technically, that's all you needed. But it's just like, now, what's a great payoff? What's a better hook? Like, it's just improving this now because you understand it. Whoops. Is the pacing right on this one? Used one of the hooks you showed Thursday. Oh, okay. I don't remember it. How it feels. to, oh, yeah, that makes sense. How it feels to do something. Yeah, that does sound like one. Yep. So how it feels to do this, and then you follow it up with how it feels. That's good. Yeah, so you did it right, like I said. It's just improving now. That's it. Come up with another idea, hook, and then resolve it. Like, if you use Hook Bomb or you go through my videos and you find another hook that you think will fit, and you're like, oh, I got a good idea for that hook. Or you go on YouTube and you look up gaming and you find a text hook that you think would fit well with what you're doing, then use it. Right? That's really all it is. That's how you never run out of ideas. You go and you find these little structures that might work for you, and then you put your idea into it. I mean, I'll show you guys I'll show you guys an example here. So everybody can take these. I'm just gonna go through a couple Hook Bomb things. You guys don't have to pay for it. Okay? Cool, fucking cool. Alrighty. Actually, you know what? I know that the text hooks are always solid for those that don't use their voice. Let's just, let's do that. I'll go to the text hooks and then give you a couple. So, let me just back it up. I know it's a couple pages back. One moment. Man, there's so many new ones. Okay, so I wonder if there's a way to do this one with Elden Ring. Or was that Elden Ring or Dark Souls? I never know the difference. Somebody want to fill me in? Or I can just Google that name. Elden Ring. Elden Ring. Okay, cool. All right, so, yeah, so what my dog sees, what is this? POV. What I see. Okay, so what I see versus what Melania sees or something like that. I don't know if you could do that well, right? And so think about that. Like what I see, and then it's your character, you're running up to the boss, and then it's like a different angle, like looking at the front of you, and then maybe you could like crop in on it, and then it's like what the boss sees, right? And so that's what people are waiting on, because it's like what I see versus, that's the first part of the text hook, and then you follow it with what the verse is pertaining to. And so what would be a good one there, right? I personally can't think of one, because like you would have to make your character look super funny and make a funny noise or something, and it might just end up lame. So that means this hook does not fit very well. Okay, so that one we'll skip, and then I'll move on to another one. So like what I just did there is probably what you should have done with the hook that you used. Technically you did it correctly, but does it fit very well with your niche? Yeah, it's up to you. I know that there's a couple like, you know what? This one can always work with games. This is like a singer, right? How I think I sound on the mic versus how I actually sound, right? And so I'll just play this for you guys so you understand
myself, talking to the moon. I sit by myself.
So how he actually sounds is like this embarrassing version, right? And so how I think I play Elden Ring, and it's like a clip of some dude kicking ass, and then how I actually play, and it's just constant dodging, or I don't know what a funny take on that is in Elden Ring, but that one seems to fit more with everything. And so this one would be probably a good hook that you could apply. Anyway, you guys, all of you can use this. No matter what your niche is, this will apply. How I think I blah versus how I actually blah. Okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and spin now. Number 9. Oh, that was not Kigo. Okay. I gotta spin it again. Number 28. Number 8 is their name. Things are getting confusing. Okay, they say what to do to go viral.
Kobe Bryant was 37 years old, exhausted, and playing the final game of his career. Against the Utah Jazz, he already had 50 points, but with 5 minutes left, something switched. He started calling for the ball every possession. Tough jumper.
Okay.
Deep three.
So there's like a line that you cross to be transformative, and it happens with like when you get better at storytelling. And so as you advance in storytelling, you start to know how to build tension into a story. And so that's when you transform it. That's when you add your perspective on it, your observation. And so some people will watch a clip and then they'll just say, and then this guy did this, and this guy did this. And literally all they're doing is narrating what people can already see. Whereas what you're doing is you're taking footage and you're telling the story the best way you can, and you're adding tension. And so this is transformative. Just in case anybody's confused on where I stand on this, this is transformative. And so really the only thing I could recommend doing is just continue to get good at storytelling. Like I'm like, if there's levels to storytelling, and Matthew Dix, who does Storyworthy, is at 100, and a new YouTuber's at 1, I'm probably at like a 65 or 70 maybe. And so I'm like always trying to level up to get to like telling a story on stage level. And so that's like what I work towards. And I just imagine that that's what you should work towards too, because you already seemingly have the gift of gab. And so I would just keep working on that, dude, because when you know how to storytell, the hooks come naturally. Because all you got to do is just create curiosity, but then put it at the beginning.
Was 37 years old, exhausted, and playing the final game of his career.
Not a hook. So you've got to make me curious about something here, and you haven't. You're just kind of like giving me a premise. You're like prefacing the story. And so this isn't how you tell a story on shorts. So that's like the only thing, like I could feel that you were adding things and it felt like there was a good pace, but the beginning needs to make me curious what you're going to talk about at the end, how the resolve is going to be. So what happens at the end?
He finished with 60 points and a win. Some players fade away. Kobe Bryant went out on fire.
Okay, so Kobe Bryant retired in the strongest way possible. That's okay. What that does is it makes people curious, like how did he retire? Okay, so sure, it is a hook. Is it a good one? Not really. Let me think here. Kobe Bryant redefined the word retire. That's okay, but would a fourth grader understand it? No, because redefined is too Okay, so back to the drawing board.
Finished with 60 points and took the lead, sending the entire arena into chaos. He finished with 60 points and a win. Some players fade away. Kobe Bryant, he scored 15 points in the final all over him. No plays, no hesitation, just pure instinct. He scored 15 points in the...
You know, if you said, like critics, I don't know what is an NBA critic? What do you call that? I'm just going to call it critics, right? But like, it's not about movies. It's about this. All right. Critics are saying this is the best game they've ever seen played. All right. Then you go on to explain everything in the story and people are like, what happens? And so you start off with like a medium hook that alludes to not the end, but like the middle. And in the middle, you rehook that something cooler is coming. Something cooler is coming. And so that's what I would have done here. Critics say that this is the best game they've ever seen played. Then I'd start, and but that wasn't all. But he wasn't done. But then, you know, like that's how I would build it. And so there's a little bit of storytelling for you. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Number 29. Anna's Gaming Corner. Okay, I'll be right back.
I know there's text, visual, and audio, and once you learn what those are for, bomb.com is where to go.
This channel did what I said and got 650,000 views. Then they did it again and got 7 million views. This is exactly what he did.
There's one game on Roblox you should never play.
That one turned into 670,000 now.
There's one color you should never see.
And then the one that got 7 million views, I think he used this one.
I just found a dark secret in this Roblox game, and
I just found a crazy secret in this yin and yang illusion.
They actually got more views than the hook from Hookbomb that inspired it. By the way, these examples are coming from hookbomb.com. It's a tool I made that you can search for all different types of hooks in different niches. You can do faceless. Hookbomb.com if you want it. It's not a subscription.
It's not a subscription!
Recently, somebody got 8 million views with a 1 million view example. It was Roblox too. Hookbomb.com if you want it. It's not a subscription. Let's do another example. Number 3. Perception versus reality. I hope that's what it says. Got it. Example 1. How it feels versus what it actually looks like. All right, this one got 20 million views. So you get the idea there. How I think I sound versus how I actually sound. How I think I rap versus how I actually rap. How I think I look when I eat versus how I actually look. Now there is a twist on this format. Instead of perception versus reality, it's expectation versus reality. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Expectation, this one. So a twist on this idea, you expect a recipe to go well that you find online, but then it's chaos, it's a total mess. Or you're playing The Witcher 3, and you expect to be Geralt riding majestically on your horse, but your horse, Roach, is on top of a building. Number 4. How it started versus how it's going. Example 1.
Oh, I like it. I'm doing good. This is great. Oh my gosh. What is this? Oh no.
You have how it started on screen, and then you show the before, then how it's going, that's the after. You got a cuddly kitten before, and then after you got a crazy crap cat crapping everywhere. Or you could do something about AI. When it started, it was just funny Shrek pictures, and then after it's... Here's another one. You can nest of flowers, and Austin Powers, da-da-da-da-doobers. I think what really sticks the landing on this one is they start with something that seems like it's about to get crazy. The viewer is already in, so they stick around to see what the deal is. The crazier thing that you do at the beginning, the crazier it should be at the end. This one just, they're marketing a product, so it was a bit different. Number 5. What you see versus what I see. All right, first example. A pretty knife that I stuck 10 times in his crack. It's a half and half approach, which doesn't really apply to a whole lot of niches, but I do love it. What you see on the left versus what I see. So if you're a content creator, you do DIY stuff. What you see is the finished product on the left, and then what I see is the behind the... 3 kinds of hooks that you ought to know. There's text, visual, and audio. And once you learn what those are for, hookbomb.com is where to go. This channel did what I said and got 650,000 views. Then they did it again and got 7 million views. This is exactly what he did.
There's one game on Roblox you should never play.
Okay, I'm back. One turned into 670,000 now.
There's one color you should never see.
And then the one that got 7 million views, I think he used this one.
I just found a dark secret in this Roblox game, and
Sorry. So much stuff that's happened. My bad, guys. Had Moe's freaking at the door, and I had to clean something. Okay. Lots of stuff happening today. Next one was Anna's. Currently a 10 of 10. I know it's probably long, but I try to begin with the goal of the short and end as the boss is killed. I'm unsure how to make it more interesting. Tried the funny parts of him killing me. I did another short. Okay. Alright. I'm going to try to simplify it for you then. Because it looks like you... When I see... Here, let me... When I see somebody say this... I guess that's not going to show. Man, it's such a pain that I have to use the same stuff for a bunch of different events, and so you can't really see all this stuff. It's a bummer. All right. So when I see something like this, currently a 10 to 10, like all these thoughts feel like overthinking, right? You're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, you're trying to think of what the short needs constantly. You're like, oh, well, maybe, oh, you know what? I saw this short do that. I should probably do that too. And so there's like this giant list of things in your head that you're trying to check off with every short. And so I'm going to watch this and I'm going to keep it super duper simple because that's what I wish people had done for me. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do for you. Okay, here we go.
Warning, Covenant boss incoming. There's a boss coming?
Okay. First things first, we got to follow the eye line, okay? The eye line and the captions. So, the very first thing I notice is your shorts overlay would go over stupid boss guy in Halo 4. Okay, so nobody's going to be able to read that because the overlay covers it. And so all they're going to see is I couldn't kill this, which doesn't make sense on its own. Besides, when I do certain things, I try to keep the eye line and the captions kind of in their own little area. And so you're kind of spreading them in different places. And so first I have to read way up here and then I have to read way down here. And so like, where do you want me to look? Because that's where the eye line should be. That's the whole point of this, like, this overlay that I made is you want the eye line, people to look at the eye line. And so if you want them to read a caption, it's down there, but it's like difficult to do both at the same time and it's their choice. Okay, so let me continue. If you're gonna do a text hook, you put it on screen, like go and look at text hooks and see exactly how they did it, right? This guy is showing something, it's not really showing subtitles, so it's right there. It's very clear, and there's not two of them that I have to read, there's just one, right? And you're gonna see that on every one of them, just one little spot. Okay.
Warning, Covenant boss.
The less decorated you make it, the more it feels authentic, by the way. So when you add like a giant stroke around the text and you decorate it, it makes it feel like too fabricated, too polished. And so then it doesn't feel like a text hook anymore.
Warning, Covenant boss.
It feels like decoration.
Incoming. There's a boss coming? Oh, this guy. What the heck? Oh, I'm out of ammo. What the fuck? Where is he? Die! No! There's needlers, but like from long range. Oh my god.
Okay. So, yeah. Alright. So you're right, it is too long. But like, you're also not really sure what the point of the video is in the first place. So you said I tried to begin with the right goal of the short. What was the goal? What was the goal of the short? Are you even here? I don't see your name anywhere. Yeah. So I don't know what the goal is. Like, I couldn't kill this boss. Okay. So then you're gonna show us that a super long short of you not able to kill the boss. Like, you understand why that's not interesting to people, right? Like, the only way that that's truly interesting is if you were already super, like, famous, I guess. People would watch anything. But, like, if you were super famous, you would know that this doesn't tell a story. There's really not much going on. This is live stream content. This is community content. This is what people, like, stick with you to watch, right? She was earlier? Okay. That's all right. I'm sure she'll come back and watch it. So, this whole thing with this text on screen is, like, super distracting for the longest. Like, it is. I saw somebody say it's more prominent than the actual content, and that they're right. So I would keep the text hook super short, super small, maybe like right here, and then you could take it off screen if something's going to be this long, or you could just leave it on screen if it's not that distracting, right? Like this one. So, here's what you need to think about. You're playing games, right? And the reason that people, like, think about why people will watch your shorts. Every gamer listen to this because this is universal, okay? If you're playing games, think about why people will watch your clip over everybody else's. All right. The only way that this truly makes sense for people to jump to a new person is if you're showing them something that they haven't seen, right? Something that they haven't experienced. And so you got to consider what during your performance or your recording, like what you have to offer that fills that gap, that accomplishes that goal. And so you not killing a boss does not accomplish that goal because we all suck at games sometimes. And so this is not interesting to a lot of people. Really, I think the only thing that's really saving it is your personality, which when you combine it with a really good hook, then you'll be great. And so, yeah. So like what in your live stream hold on, let me see if you got your lives up here. No, I was going to toss it in the hook finder to actually find a good one, but you don't have your lives here, it looks like. Oh yeah, you do. Nope, these are not lives. Okay, never mind. So yeah, it's difficult for me to know what you experience that is like totally unique to your playthrough. But let's make one up, I guess. Like, let's say you're playing something and you kill a boss in a really funny way, and then like the beginning says a text hook, "I've never seen a boss do that before," or like, have you guys ever seen like, is this boss glitch new? Right? There's your text hook. Now people are like, what's that about? Right? I gotta understand what this glitch is that they're talking about. And so like you fight them, and then 20 to 30 seconds later, the thing happens, and then they comment about it, whatever. Like that tells a story, that offers something new. But yeah, right now it's just a long clip of you just fighting. You doing something that everybody else does, right? And so you gotta have something.
Die! Oh my god, yes, finally. Warning.
You gotta have something unique to offer. So, all that said, you've got the talent. You do. Really, it's just about like knowing exactly what hooks people and then how to complete that hook. Like all the other pieces for a content creator you've got personality, you've got editing skill. It's just psychology now. It's all about curiosity. That's it. And so if you just follow the stuff that I say about how hooks work, then you'll be good. Honestly, I think that once you understand hooks, like that's the missing piece. Seriously. So think what unique thing happens to your playthrough, and then like you can craft a hook out of that. I always start at the end and work backwards to the hook. I hope that helps a little bit. If it doesn't, at least you understand the tech stuff. And I'm gonna say keep your shorts between 20 and 30 seconds. The reason I give you that advice is because you need to learn how to cut out your fluff. You're leaving way too much in that people aren't interested in. Some people are, right? Your community, but not millions of people. And that's like a truth that we all have to bear. Okay. Started funny, but it was the same thing for too long already, right? So like I stopped when I swiped. And so just so you know it's like, okay, I get it. What else is going to happen? But nothing else happens. Now, if something else does happen, it should have happened already because I swiped, okay? Okay, yeah, okay. So that's it. That's really it, man. Could you give me feedback and tell me how to make it more engaging? So like, I like the approach, sneaking back home at 3 a.m. It's really clever. I like it. So it's making noise. I'm trying to think like what. I'm trying to think here. You need like you need more variables in here. So like right at second 4, something else happens. So what I would do, if I were your coach, I would be thinking of like what else happens when you sneak home at 3 a.m. Like, is your parent awake, right? And so you look and you hear creaking down the hall, and then you kind of see like a creeper walk from through one door into the other. And so like that, you see like a little mom question mark, something along those lines, like that's another situation. And so that throws a little bit of difference in there. And so you start to back up, and then it's the dog's face again, creak, creak, and then you look, and here's the other thing that happens. And so you're adding these little bits of comedy, these different things. Like right now, your only clever thing is I make noise at 3 a.m. and dog face, right? But adding a little more will take you like from, okay, you're a good memer to like you're a good creator. I'm trying to think what else could happen here. Like when I say don't use AI, I mean don't use AI to come up with your ideas. If you have an idea and you're like, okay, what else? Like right now, this would be one of those times where I'd be like, okay, what are some things that can happen that you're trying to avoid when you're sneaking around at home at 3 a.m. If you take that to ChatGPT and it gives you a list and then it sparks more ideas, it doesn't matter. It was your idea. It was always your idea. You might as well have just gone to a thesaurus and looked up synonyms, right? Like it's the same thing, except it's just another tool. AI is a great tool, but it's a terrible creator. And that's why I say avoid it for creating, but use it as a tool, right? It's like when I write songs, oftentimes I will go to Rhyme Zone and be like, all right, no, 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 stupid, no, 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 power word, that's good. Okay, I could probably use that. And, but all those no, 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 stupid, no, no, those are words that AI would use because it technically rhymes, but they're not good song words. And so when you hear a song written by, whatever the fuck, what's it called? Suno. When you hear a song written by Suno and you hear words that you wouldn't normally hear a singer sing, that's how you know it's AI, because it's lame. It's like, why would you say that word? Like, nobody says that. Yeah, I guess that's just something that you understand after years of songwriting. You know what words not to say. And typically because they're pretentious. But anyway, I would take this. Here, let's just do it now. Imagine you're sneaking home at 3 a.m., you're walking, and the creak of the floor might wake up your parents, and you're trying to sneak around, and you want to get a snack, but the floor keeps creaking. What are some other situations that you're trying to avoid, or funny things that happen when you're trying to sneak around home at 3 a.m. before you go to bed, and trying to avoid waking up your parents? Ice dispenser, microwave. Oh, the microwave beep is always good. I forgot about that because you always want to open the door right before the beep happens. And so, dude, I think I've actually seen a short about that where you watch the countdown and then you like quickly open it before the beep happens. Dog hears you. I know that there's dogs in Minecraft, so like a dog barking would probably work. A light turns on. That would have been a new thing that happened in your story. Like it looks down, your character looks down a hallway, and then you see a light on. Like you hear a light in a creek and it's not you. You turn, like that's a new part of your story. Like that would have kept more attention, right? So like, really your idea, it was a start of one. It just wasn't a complete great short, right? It's a good start. So yeah, just do that. All right, I hope everybody understands, like, you can use AI to, like, brainstorm with. No problem. Just like I did. Some people confuse it. They're like, yeah, John hates AI. He considers it slop. I'm like, no. I consider low-effort slop. AI can be used with high-effort content. Bow, na, na, na.
He was voted the least popular zombie.
Wow, that was bad timing. Okay, in this 20-second short, the reporter speaks for 11 seconds with no cuts. Is that too long without a cut in a video? I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's not the problem with this video. I really just don't. Okay, yeah, so when things are 100% AI generated, I don't review them, okay? I'm just going to move on now. I'm not going to... It's just, that's not what this live stream is for. There are other gurus out there that'll deal with 100% AI content. I will not. I try to get people to create stuff, not prompt stuff, you know what I mean?
At first glance, this fish looks like a peaceful, flowing little beauty you'd see in aquariums. But it's not just pretty. This is the betta fish, and it hides a wild secret. Beneath those colorful fins is a built-in labyrinth organ, a special tool that lets it breathe air, which means bettas can survive in shallow, muddy, low-oxygen water. Male betta fish are ferocious fighters.
Okay, let's see what they said. Please go through my channel after checking this video out and tell me what I'm doing wrong. No, that's not what I'm doing here.
In the wild, they're so territorial that they'll throw down with any intruder. They were bred in Southeast Asia specifically for fish fighting matches. So 2 males in 1 tank equals instant chaos.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume what you're doing wrong is you're getting ideas from AI, and then you're taking those ideas and you're using an AI voice and you're using videos that you did not record. And so there's an element of stolen content. There's an element of AI, and then there's the AI voice frequency. And so a lot of these things that you're doing, anybody could do. And so YouTube is like not incentivizing that kind of content because it can't, advertisers don't want to advertise next to that kind of content. And so that's probably what you're doing wrong. I will go to your channel just to see. Odds are you're falling into the conflict radius a lot. Like, did you record all these? Because if you didn't, they're probably already on YouTube, and they're not transformative enough to become yours, right? Because anybody can do the thing that you did. And so I'm just going to leave it there, okay? You betta. Yeah, as soon as I heard it didn't say beta right, I'm like, eh. Jersey Joyride.
Welcome to Catfight Cafe in Boonton, New Jersey, created in 2020 by musician AC Slade and his wife Mei Ling. You may know AC Slade from such bands as Murder Dolls, Dope, and recently AC Slade and the Dark Party. I
Okay.
really love the dark orange and black color scheme here. It's so representative of classic Halloween, and the bookcase here is a great addition to the cafe. You can grab a book, have a coffee, or go to the bathroom. This cafe has a very...
Okay, so I've seen a lot of your content, and this, I'm not gonna say much different, right? You haven't taken any of my advice, and you haven't implemented it at all, right? And it's not that you're doing it on purpose or anything. It's just that what I've told you, like, you have your own idea of what you're trying to create, and I'm just trying to give people, like, to the point where they get millions of views. And so I guess what I really need to know is what your intention is with your channel in general, like what you are trying to do. Because I've given you advice before, but since you didn't do it, it makes me think that I was probably off base with the way that I was trying to coach you. These are the kinds of things that if we had a coaching session, it would be clear already. Like I would already know. But here, I'm having a difficult time understanding what you're trying to do. First, it does seem like you're trying to give us like for some reason the word synopsis keeps coming to my mind, but I don't think that that's the word here because it's not like a book. You're just kind of giving us like a description of this place. And so I'm trying to think, how can I say this the best way to connect to you, to make you understand what I'm talking about? Okay, here. The author of this book, his name is Russell Brunson, and he's a billionaire, okay? He goes on stage, he does talks, he tells people how he made the money, he takes you through the whole business, everything, right? But there's one chapter in here that I think connects to creators most of all. And so if there's any advice you'd want to take from somebody, it'd probably be the billionaire. So I'll tell you what he would say. When it comes to this story, you got to make people understand how you learned it or how you earned it, okay? If you want people to care about something, they need to know what went into it, what the input bias is, what the backstory is. Like, why would you make me care? Russell went on stage the first time, and he did all this research, and he tried to teach people all kinds of things, right? here's how I make money, here's how I do affiliate sales, how I do marketing, and he teaches, here's all the value, all of it, all of it, all of it. Probably like $10,000 worth of value in one presentation. Nobody gave a shit, right? Because they didn't understand how valuable the information was at all. So when I watch, and eventually, by the way, he learned that. What he did was he slammed his hand on the table and he said, do you guys know how much I went through to get this? How many years I spent figuring this out, going to this webinar and this coach and that coach, and this is the list. This is the ultimate list. You have no idea what I went through to get this for you. And then that's when they paid attention, and then that's when they bought. And so when I see this, my only thing is, why would the viewer care, right? You're just saying a bunch of details about this place, but there's like, why? What makes it super interesting? Like, you got to focus on one thing, I guess. Like, you're saying a lot of things about this place that could be interesting, but you're not diving deep enough into them. And so you only have time enough for one, and this probably would be like 10 shorts. All the stuff that you're covering, you could probably make 10 shorts out of. And they would be interesting, they would be understandable. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Here, let me go through and pick one and see if I can make a short out of it.
Welcome to Catfight Cafe in Boonton, New Jersey.
Okay, Catfight Cafe.
Created in 2020 by musician AC Slade and his wife Mei Ling.
Okay, why? Why do I care, right? You said this musician. Okay, so which one do you want me to care about, the cafe or the musician? And if it's both, then that's all you can talk about. All right, what did this musician do? Why did he start the cafe? Why was it so important? That's one short, okay? That is it. That's all you can do there. Because once you add one more piece, cognitive overload. People don't listen anymore, and so they leave.
You may know AC Slade from such bands as Murder Dolls, Dope, and recently, AC Slade and the Dark Party.
Okay, so I don't, and the majority of people don't, okay? So what you would need to do is the learned it or earned it. You need to give us the backstory. Why is it important? You may know them is never a way to go, because nobody does, right? Just like if somebody said, you may have played this game, sure, there's more people that played that game than knows this band, but it's still not the right way to go, because you're assuming that the audience knows something. That's limiting your audience to like one person that probably won't see this video. Because that's how YouTube works. It spread, like, I remember the very first piece of advice I gave you is you're being so local about what you talk about. That's not how YouTube works, that's how Facebook works. And so, okay.
I really love the dark orange and black color scheme here. It's so representative of classic Halloween, and the bookcase here is a great addition to the cafe. You can grab a book, have a coffee, or go to the bathroom. This cafe
Why didn't you share the bathroom?
has a very welcoming staff who made our visit very relaxing, and we look forward to coming back soon, but they are only open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday through Thursday.
Okay, so now I'm thinking we got a review here, okay?
And 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
Think about why would that be important to millions of people across the world? That's why I'm saying it's difficult for me to know your intention here, because you're not making content for everybody. It's like you're making it for somebody that was right next to you, you know?
I am thinking today is the time. In fact, it's now or never to feed your coffee addiction before another day goes by. And if you need motivation, check out all the Catfight Coffee merchandise or merch.
So, yeah, the only thing I could think that this would be used for is to put on their website, right? And so if that is your business, if you're doing like these reviews where you're like, hey, like, put this on, you know, this is a review, you can put it on Yelp or whatever, then there is a purpose there. But on YouTube, it's just very tough to know what you want to do with it. There's so many things that you could make out of this, stories individually. You could focus on anything. Like, this cafe has the craziest bathroom I've ever seen. Bam. And then, like, see if you can find it, and you start panning through, and eventually you walk over to the bookcase. Oh, you know, maybe I'll read a book while I wait, and then you open it. And so, like, that's a great piece of content. That's a 1 million view video right there, probably. So that's the difference here. That's what YouTube wants versus what you're providing, okay? That's the best I can do, because I just don't know what else to give. You said, what's the best way to edit when you can't afford a computer? Honestly, everything, it's like storytelling and giving people information that's like important to them, right? That's relevant, because all the stuff you're saying isn't relevant to anybody that's on YouTube. So like that's the important thing. You can edit on your phone. The only thing I'd say about the editing is like the wavy thing. I would get rid of that. That's like more distracting than anything. Okay, that was a lot of stuff I just loaded on you. Sorry, without the context of where you're going or what you're trying to do, that's like the best I can, that's the overall advice I can give you there. Okay, spinning again. Bow now, bow now, bow now. That was Spawnless Point. I already talked about them. Bum, gum, bum, bum, gum, be-a-li-doo-doo-doo.
This is how you tie this is how you tie a tie. First, you want to make an X with your tie, small end on the bottom, big end on the top, like this. Once you get into an X, you want to circle the small one with the big one, like this. You go in one circle like this, just one. Once you circle your tie, you want the big end to go into this. This is further up. Just tie the tie. Good.
Okay. Okay. It's tough. It's tough to do this one because it's been done so much. Do you do other stuff that's not like so many, like how to tie a tie on YouTube is, I mean, it was done in like 2012, right? And so there's only so many of those that YouTube is going to care about. You're competing in a very, very saturated space. So that one's really tough to I feel bad because you put that out and it was fine. It was good. You did what you were supposed to do, but you just jumped into a total red ocean.
This is, I got these comments saying, well, 2 comments saying how it was Dr. Pepper and not Coca-Cola, and I bought myself.
What is? You understand that you gave no context there. What is Dr. Pepper, not Coca-Cola? What does that mean? Is one better than the other? Or, like, just imagine that this is the very first short that somebody saw. Because for, like, the majority of these people, it was the first one that they saw. Because that's how YouTube's impressions work, right? And so when they saw this, they're like, what does that even mean? And so they swipe away because you started with something that alienated them. Like, you assumed that they knew information that they didn't. And so, yeah.
Dr. Pepper, I added the lemons and everything, they're in here.
Okay, yeah, now I can't continue watching it because I'm totally confused about what it is. I thought maybe it was like which one's better, but now the lemons, I'm lost. Okay.
Okay, a little update on Dr. Stone. I've already finished watching all of it, so I'm back to sitting and waiting for new episodes. Let's hope they come out soon.
Okay. More of like a community video. That, you know, really it's a tough thing to start and ask yourself, like, what can I make that people would watch? What can I make that people would care about? And so, man, I really need to come up with a course on like how to find these things, how to change your perspective over like of what people want. Like the way that I do it, or you know, hold on. Last night I was thinking about how I would do my ads for my next event. And I was so focused on following a template of somebody that was teaching me, Russell Brunson, that I wasn't actually focusing on like what I was already good at, which was storytelling and marketing. And so I was making these ads that I knew like deep down wouldn't connect, but I was trusting somebody more than myself. And so like I stopped and I'm like, look, I got to go back to my roots. And so I started focusing on my marketing, and I remembered the exact moment where I made the switch in my brain. And I guess I've trained myself to do this, but it's something that you guys can do too. When I was about to get in the shower, and I remember thinking, man, I've got to change something. Like, I don't know what to do. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to focus on like what creates curiosity. What is an ad that will get people curious about the event? And that is the moment like it's almost like I go blind. And what I see in front of me is a computer, but I'm not me. I'm like scrolling as somebody else on Facebook. And then I see like this blank square come up. And what is it that makes me click? And so like I'm imagining that in shorts, and I'm imagining that with thumbnails. Like what is it? I'm seeing all the other stuff that I normally see, all the other thumbnails, all the other ads, all the social media, but then there's this blank square, and that's where I go. And so how do I stand out amongst all the other shit? Like what would catch my attention? What would I click on? And so last night I thought, okay, what if my face was upside down? Like that's different. That would stand out. Or what if it was all red? That would stand out because I don't see any all red. And these are the things that I think about. And so like when it comes to shorts or shorts ideas, you got to think what would catch your attention. What really, really makes you click and what makes you watch to the end. And so if you were scrolling on shorts and you saw some dude talking about, I watched this video, I watched this movie, I just finished it. That's it. Would you stay to the end? Because there's no curiosity there. There's no point. It's not even relevant to you, really. So it's just like some dude talking about himself. And that's what you're doing here. And so the next thing that you create, you got to kind of think of like what you watch all the way through and then do your version of that. And it's a really hard thing to do at first, but once you practice it enough, it becomes a lot easier. You kind of have to step outside yourself and view you, but from somebody else's perspective. Or you could just share your stuff in the Discord, and like a lot of people will give their opinions, and that really, really helps too. How fast I could tie a tie would probably be better. That is different, because then people are like, yeah, how fast? that would work. Because it's a little bit different, right? Like, people stick around to understand how fast can he, right? That's different. That's something new. How fast can he tie a tie? Is it the greatest idea? No, but it does achieve what I was saying, which was like, all right, you've caught me. Like I saw earlier today, a dude dropped a carrot, he grabbed a knife, he cut the carrot, and then he stopped the timer really, really fast. And I guess that caught my attention because I haven't really, that's a different version of the speed test he had done before, so, yeah. How fast I can tie a tie with a chopstick. There you go. That would be different. Now it's all about like, do people care? Like, do I really care about watching this, or is the next short going to give me more dopamine? And so like then you get to that competition. And so, yeah, anyway. All right, I'm going to do some VIPs, and then we're going to get back to regular reviews. We've got 8 VIPs today. We got Cat Mom, the very first one up. Let me turn off chat. Let me turn off spinner. There we go. Yeah, it said Cat Mom. There it is. What the fuck? Okay, all right. So this is funny. Okay, you said not a storytelling short, just a regular short. What do you think about the 3 sentences I used? Take a different angle. There's no music. No, I like all of it. But what I would have done, you said Thor had an idea. Okay, so you said but. That's the very first word. You know that you said it. You know what this does, right? This makes people think, okay, what, right? They listen a little closer. But then this thing happened, right? And so that creates an internal open loop. What is the idea, okay? And so typically, it's not a rule, but I usually follow it, is that but happens in the middle of the first sentence, Okay, so Thor doesn't know how water works, so he got an idea, but then he had an idea, and so that creates that makes a hook then, right? And so you do have a story, and that keeps people to the end, right? But this, I understand why you didn't do it, because the payoff isn't like, there's nothing else to it, right? And I get that. So, but then he had an idea. Storytelling wise, it's a good line, but does he truly have an idea? Not really, right? So I probably wouldn't have said idea. Let me think, how would I have hooked this? I'm trying to think, how does water connect to snot bubbles? Doesn't know how water works. Damn. I really like the snot bubbles thing. It's really, really great. But, like, honestly, maybe the fountain thing has lead me away from it. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen my cat do. There's a hook, and then you wait. I might even put a timer on it, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pop, pop, and then there. Somebody watched 100% of that short. And so that's it. That's your full story. I like the water. I really, really like it. But the thing is, if I use that hook, people would think that it has something to do with what they're currently seeing. That's why the timer would be important. So now I just don't know if it makes complete sense. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a tough one. I would really have to think this through on how to make it super viral. It's like relaxing. I'm curious, like, what led up to the snot bubble thing, because, like, you made a cut to it, and it almost, I would have let it be. Now, Trick, I don't mean to get too into the editing, but if there was a reason that you cut it, like you really like the start of it, and then you wanted to get to that moment, you could take this section in the middle, and then you could speed it up to where it goes to the other part, and then pop, pop. But I mean, I don't know. I'd have to sit with it a little bit longer. Anyway, I hope the stuff I said helped a little bit. I really, really love it. Film fractures.
Superman has been wearing his underwear.
Oh, it was 40 seconds long. So, like, the reason it was so long is because you really liked the start of it. Otherwise, you would have started 5 seconds before the bubble pop, right? Right? I mean, that was just what I assumed. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think here. There's a lot already.
Superman has been wearing his underwear inside out.
Never mind. I thought that there was too much to look at until I hit play and I realized it's only one element behind you. When I first saw it, I thought that there was this thing and there was this thing, but it's not. I really like it.
Superman has been wearing his underwear inside out for 100 years and nobody knows why. But I do. So back in the 1800s.
Oh, God, this is good, dude.
Circus strongmen were performers who would come out on stage and lift impossible things.
Okay, so, just so you know, I've already connected the loop. I've already closed it for myself because Superman, like, whoever made Superman was inspired by this, right? And so, you probably should have not shown that already unless there's more to this story. So that would mean that you would have to say, but that's not where it came from. So that would keep me. Otherwise, I'm gone.
in front of a crowd. And to make their bodies look as big and as powerful as possible, they wore skin-tight tights with shorts pulled over the top. So when the artists designed Superman in the 1930s, they just copied that look straight off the stage, which means that the most iconic superhero outfit in
Yeah, so I didn't need to stay for all that, right? Because you already showed it to me.
history is just a circus outfit. But here's what gets even weirder.
That would have been the thing that kept me earlier.
Same circus look is where almost every superhero costume came from. Batman, Spider-Man, all of them. No, seriously, go back and look at the Strongman again and tell me that it's not just Superman.
Dude, everything you do is great, except for the storytelling structure. It's like that's the only thing that just needs work. Everything else is fucking phenomenal.
Nobody knows why, but I do. So
God, I love that whole thing was great, right? But I guarantee your biggest drop off is at 9 seconds because you already revealed it. And what truly revealed it was you showed it. You showed that guy. And that's when it became obvious to me. And so I know I say that shorts viewers are dumb, but I mean that as in you have to consistently entertain them, like constantly. Oh man, I hope you're here and you understand what I'm saying, because like this is so good. Like this is very, very good. So you'd probably ask, okay, well, how would you do it then? So I'll go ahead and answer that.
But I do. So back in the 1800s,
I would not have shown this, okay? I would start with back in the 1800s, and I would say everything you're saying, but I would never ever show this or say that they wore their underwear on the outside, okay? I wouldn't say that until the end. That's the reveal. And then you could also have like the rehook at the end. I forget what it was, but that's not all. Like I forget what you said, but that could also work right at the end.
circus strongmen were performers who would come out on stage and lift impossible things in front of a crowd. And to make their bodies look as big and as powerful as possible, they wore skin-tight tights with shorts pulled over the top.
You also probably would ask me like, okay, well then what do I show at that moment? I think your scripting is good, but you don't have to show the bottom half, ever. People can assume, but you didn't have to. But honestly, I would just show something that's not so obvious that it's underwear on the outside until you get to the end.
With shorts pulled over the top. So
yeah, and so that's like, at 20 seconds, that's the full short.
when the artists designed Superman in the 1930s, they just copied that look straight off the stage.
Yeah, honestly, dude, it's just the script structure. That's it. Everything else is fantastic. And like, I love, you don't show, dude, I forget what it was or how you showed it, but the text, fucking everything is so good. Everything is so good. Weren't you the person that the text was always like too show-offy and like glowy and fucking annoying? Like, not annoying, but like there was so much shit going on all the time. Like, this is fucking great, dude. This is viral fodder.
His underwear inside out for 100 years and nobody knows why, but I do.
Man, even the element you made is so cool. Like, I think you made that. That is very, like, the thing that is floating behind, dude, it's so unique. It is so unique. I am so fucking proud. Hell yeah. Yeah, this thing. I think you made it, but that is so cool.
But I do. So back in the 1800s, circus strongmen were...
Okay, that's all I got to say, man. I really hope... Oh, you wrote a paragraph here. I did a lot of in-depth thinking analysis, not only on my own channel, but what also works in the feed. I decided to watch some shorts and write down what kept me throughout the video and what didn't, and then I used JohnBot to analyze my own notes, as well as previous scripts. I feel like this is the first video I've made with this new format that I'm going to try to keep. I would keep it all. I would keep it all. Really, it's just, like, everything you do is perfect, except the structure just needs a little realigning. Restructuring, reorganizing. That's it, man. Just storytelling. Fuck, man, that's so good. So good. Kalia, sorry. Kayla. There's a Kayla that, on the courses and stuff that I watch from Russell, there's Kayla, I can't remember her last name. She's a part of the Lady Boss movement, and she's a great entrepreneur, and so I've been saying that name a lot.
If I take off this mask and you're...
Oh, what the hell am I doing? I'm not even showing it. Sorry. Well, what the hell? Back you go.
If I take off this mask and you're this girl, we're gonna have a problem. Don't try to wave it away. Wait, is that the same girl? Wait, close your mouth. I said close your mouth. All right, well, I'm killing you regardless, because you look too close to her. If that's your sister, my bad. Oh, I knew it was you.
What? Okay, hold on. What happened at the end where it revealed? You said I knew it was you?
Oh, I knew it was you.
Oh, the wanted thing popped up. Oh, okay.
I knew it.
Right? It, like drew an X on it right there?
Bad.
Okay. Yeah, all right. That would have been something to give a little bit more clarity on, like show it as the X pops up. You might have to like stabilize it a little bit because your head was moving, but that would have been the last thing I showed.
If I take off this...
Okay, so my biggest issue with this is I have no idea what the fuck is going on, right? I didn't realize that you're like trying to catch criminals. And so this right here would have been the thing to show at the beginning, that you wouldn't even have to say words, right? It says wanted at the top. And so I would have just zoomed in on that. In this case, I don't think the text hook does you any good. Like it doesn't really, it's not strong enough to create so much curiosity. I would like she almost caught me slipping is not specific enough to make me understand what I'm curious about, right? But this does. This makes sense.
If I take off this mask and you are this girl, we're gonna have a problem. Don't try to wave it away. Wait, is that the same girl? Wait, close your mouth. I said close your mouth. All right, well, I'm killing you regardless, because you look too close to her. If that's your sister, my bad. Oh, I knew.
Okay, so the rest of the story kind of clears it up. It gives me the context of what's really happening. But if you clear that up right at the beginning, I think it would help a little bit more. I think there's, like, the clarity does come throughout, but if you start with the wanted sign, then people would, like, they would get to enjoy all the nuance of it rather than try to continue putting the pieces together. How did that do? Holy shit! 318,000.
If I take
Hell
off
yeah.
this mask and
It's about damn time, man.
you are this girl, we're gonna have a problem. Don't try to wave it away. Wait, is that the same girl? Wait, close your mouth. I said close your...
Hell yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like, visually, you're not showing too much. There's not too many, like, I saw the I don't know what you call that, the algorithm meme where the numbers come, but, like, you know that didn't get in my way of watching it. And so, before you would always, like, picture, and stuff like that, and I got to experience the entire story throughout this. And so your memes didn't get in the way. Yeah, honestly, just the clarity on the wanted sign, that's all I would change. And like the text hook could go. I don't think it's the reason that this performed well. Okay, moving on. Number 4, and then we got 4 more, and then we're back to regular reviews. This one is Level Up. Wait a second. Can I do this one? Because I don't think... Wow. 1 second. Bow now. Yeah. Okay. We'll go for it. Okay, cool. All right. The perfect hook formula, I did pretty well, but I was curious about the rest of the script. Do I reveal the solution too quick? Let's take a look-see.
This org
clan
couldn't pay their bill. This org clan couldn't pay their bills, so they started going to therapy.
Okay, I like it already, and it doesn't... I know your channel, it doesn't feel like I'm being sold something, right? This is solid.
Turns out every single time they went on a raid, they killed everyone. No survivors means no one to sell to. No one to sell to means no income. And no income means your entire clan slowly falls apart. But someone found a fix. One orc learned how to cook, one learned how to garden, and slowly, the most feared creatures in the land learned that not everything needs to die. I'm level up, and I find games worth your time. The game is called Don't Kill Them All, and it's exactly what it sounds like.
Okay, solid. Let me jump back here, and you said, I tried to use the perfect hook formula. I think I did it pretty well. So the perfect hook formula is you start with low stakes, and then you present something that's totally unexpected that eventually becomes the solution.
This orc clan couldn't pay their bills.
Okay. Stakes.
So they started going to therapy.
Unrelated, so yeah, you did.
Turns out every single time they went on a raid, they killed everyone. No survivors means no one to sell to. No one to sell to means no income. And no income means your entire clan slowly falls apart. But someone found a fix. One orc learned how to cook, one learned how to garden, and slowly, the most feared creatures in the land learned that not everything needs to die. I'm level up, and I find games worth your time.
So what
the game is called Don't Kill Them All, and it's exactly what it sounds like. This orc clan...
Okay. You didn't do the perfect hook because you did the first two, but then like where was the resolve? How was that therapy is what I'm wondering.
Creatures in the land learn that not everything needs to die. How to garden, and slowly the most means your entire clan slowly falls.
Like you made the thing abstract almost, unless there was like an actual therapist or something, but you didn't talk about that. And so it's like if it was strong enough, then you would have to say, like, here's how therapy solved that thing, right? But that's not, I didn't get that out of this story.
No survivors means no one to sell to. No one to sell to means no income. And no income means your entire clan slowly falls apart. But some...
Okay, so, nobody was buying this man's food, so he took out his phone and he glued it to the ground. And then, at the end of the story, you find out that people are trying to take it up, and then they can't because it's glued to the ground and they're stuck in front of a store. They have to pay for his food. Then the real estate people kept ripping up my for sale sign, so I bought a baseball bat. At the end, she uses the baseball bat to dig the for sale signs deeper, and so that's the answer there. And so this one is like therapy. Yeah, I can't connect it. Okay. Yeah, you didn't read. Yeah. It's like you can't just say a random thing and then not explain it. Like that's not, yeah. Like these orcs couldn't pay their bills, so they set the local Aldi on fire. And then at the end, you don't ever talk about the Aldi. Like that's kind of what happened here. Just like when I think about the twist part, try to make it something that's tangible, that's easy to grasp. And so if you're saying therapy as an abstract term, that it's not a literal therapist, then it's going to be hard for people to connect that loop. Okay, so anyway, Yep, that's it. That's all I got for it. I remember talking about your other hook, and so I would still be doing that. Because you had something that like really, really worked for you, I'd be doubling down. But I don't know if you've been doing that or not.
This game doesn't exist. A few days ago, I was scrolling through Amazon when I found a game that looked almost identical to my favorite game. At first, I thought it was just a virus, but then I noticed something weird. The game wasn't available on any device I own, so...
Okay, I'm in. If you think I've improved from the first time we chatted. It's a little difficult to remember. I was mad that you're not the top creator. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember, because it's a very specific game. So...
This game doesn't exist. A few days ago, I was scrolling through Amazon when I found a game that looked almost identical to my favorite game. At first, I thought it was just a virus, but then I noticed something weird. The game wasn't available on any device I own. So, like any other normal person, I spent over $100 on a tablet just to find out what it actually was.
Okay, I'm confused because the hook doesn't make sense to me.
This game doesn't exist.
The game doesn't exist. Okay.
A few days ago, I was scrolling through Amazon.
Okay.
When I found a game that looked almost identical.
Okay, so you're saying something doesn't like, look, if I said this puzzle doesn't exist, that doesn't hook me in any way, because who cares, right? So this game doesn't exist. All right, cool, right? But if you say like, if your one sentence hook is like, I've been looking everywhere for this game and it's like it never existed, then there's the stakes. That's the whole hook. Now people understand what you're trying to do. You did it in one sentence, and now we can go on with the story because it's like maybe he finds it. Like, what's the deal? But this game doesn't exist is like confusing as shit to me, because it's like, okay, it feels like you started with a premise and then you just said fuck it and then you went on to a different story. That's how this feels. Okay, now depending on your audience, that still might have been enough to work, but let's see.
Tentacle to my favorite game. At first, I thought it was just a virus, but then I noticed something weird. The game wasn't available on any device I own. So, like any other normal person, I spent over $100 on a tablet just to find out what it actually was. But when I finally started playing, something was wrong.
How is that a solution? I don't understand. Does it like come does it come by default with tablets or something?
Just to find out what it actually was. But when I finally started playing, something was wrong. The tutorial was sloppy, misspelled text left and right, the movement barely worked. Thankfully, I got through the tutorial and into the real action. Well, it's actually when I came to a terrible realization. There was no way any of this was made by a human. None of it was real. There was a silly egg hatch.
I'm so lost from before.
To find out what it actually
What was that about?
But then I noticed something weird. The game, my favorite game. At first, I thought it would just...
I thought it was a virus. Okay, this game doesn't exist, but it was something that you had played before that was on a computer, and then it disappeared, and you thought it was just a virus. You understand how hard I'm trying to make this make sense, right? Because you're not offering much clarity in the way that you're telling the story. The problem here is that you know the story. You're so close to your content that you already have those dots connected. But as a new viewer, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I have no idea what he's talking about. And so I hope that helps a little bit because like the rest of the stuff is good. Everything is good. It's just the lack of clarity with how the story plays out. At this point, I'm not even sure what the stakes are.
Just a virus. But then I noticed something weird. The game wasn't available on any device I own. So...
Okay, now I understand the story, but I really had to try to put it together backwards.
Other normal person, I spent over $100 on a tablet just to find out what it actually was. But when I finally started playing, something was wrong. The tutorial was sloppy, misspelled text left and right, the movement barely worked. Thankfully, I got through the tutorial and...
Like, you understand how to tell stories, and that's great. Like, you understand how the rise and fall works and how to create tension. But it's just the lack of clarity, and that's it. You fix that, and I think you'll be good to go, man. All right, we got two more.
Is he chasing me? Can he open that door? Ah! Can I lap him? We got him, we got him, we got him! Let's go! Outside, outside. Surely he won't chase us up here, right? Yeah, f you, dude. You're scared of the outside, aren't you? Is he chasing me? Can he open that door? Is he chasing me? Can he open that door? Ah! Can I lap him? We got him, we got him, we got him! Let's go!
Okay, you said, for moments like these, do you think it's better to try and piece together the moments with raw clips or set it up with a voiceover? In this in this instance, I guess a voiceover would fix it for me because I don't know really what is happening. Like, I kind of have to know how the game works to understand what is happening now.
Is he chasing me? Can he open that door?
The door opens, okay. It happened so fast that I didn't really even know what happened.
Can I lap him? We got him, we got him!
Can I lap him? What does that mean? Right? So, like, these are, like, the little pieces that I'm missing as a brand new viewer.
Let's go! Outside, outside. Surely he won't chase us up here, right? Yeah, f you, dude. You're scared of the outside, aren't you?
That was good. You had some like serious tension built there at the end. So I don't know, a little bit of clarity. If the clarity isn't there in the clip itself, then voiceover. If it is, then no voiceover. Like at the end there, I knew that something was coming, and so like I felt my shoulders go up. Like that end was really, really good. So I hope that helps. Hey John, been a few weeks since I submitted, still having trouble cutting out info and getting the whole story like this across. But lately I've been having a lot more success with slightly shorter videos. Also been working on simple animations. Any more advice? Okay, let's see.
The owner of the store knew disaster was coming, but didn't tell the thousands of people inside. So this department store collapse in Seoul, South Korea is
Sorry, what was it?
The store knew disaster was coming, but didn't tell the thousands of people inside. So this department store collapse in Seoul, South Korea is one of the deadliest in history, but the story behind it is even more devastating because it was actually a 4-story office building that the owner illegally added a 5th floor to, along with a 45-ton air conditioner on the roof. From day one, cracks were visible to anyone inside, and engineers warned him that it could collapse at any moment. But after begging the owner to evacuate the store, he refused because it was one of the busiest days of the year and he would lose too much revenue. So he and his executives quietly slipped out of the building with their families without warning anyone else. And just hours later, the entire south side of the store collapsed within 20 seconds. 502 people were unfortunately killed and thousands.
Good God. I gotta be honest, man. I don't know if there's anything I would do with this.
The owner,
like, I don't know if there's anything I'd take out.
The store knew disaster was coming, but didn't tell the thousands of people inside.
The only thing that was difficult for me is like the way that the hook was said. It's almost like my audio issue where I have a difficult time hearing certain things. It's almost like it activated there. So I don't know if it's the way you said it, or maybe that there's like a more clear way to do that hook. But to be honest, that's me being nitpicky. I'm sure most of you could have heard what he said. It's like I can't hear lyrics to songs, and so this is that same thing.
The owner of the store knew disaster was coming, but didn't.
Like when I first heard it, I'm like, the owner of the store had a new disaster. Like I kept thinking like there's a new one, right?
Until the thousands of people inside.
And then until the is what I heard, but you said didn't tell the, and so that's my auditory bullshit going on there. Dude, honestly, I like it. Is this unlisted or something? Because I feel like this is gonna do fine. 849. No, it's not unlisted. Oh, 1 hour ago. Okay, give this one time. I have a good feeling about it. I think it'll do all right. And then we got Olivia, and then back to other peeps, non-VIPs.
How do you make glow-in-the-dark yarn?
Whoops.
How do you make glow-in-the-dark yarn glow? You have to charge it. And how do you charge yarn? Let me show you. This is glow-in-the-dark yarn. And if I turn off the light, it doesn't glow. However, if I take a flashlight and I run it over the glow-in-the-dark yarn, then when I turn off the light, it glows. But the most important thing you need to know is the longer you charge it, is the longer it'll glow. How do you make glow-in-the-dark yarn?
Okay, so that moment right there is probably your drop-off point. Then you said, but the most important thing and stuff like that. Thanks. Who wins, 1 silverback gorilla or 100 humans? Are the humans clothed? Do they have clothes on? I think that was probably your drop-off point. So you said, I posted this video last night and it's doing very well. I've never had a video do well right out the gate. It usually sits for a couple days and then the spike. Is there something specific I did to make it do well so fast, something I can repeat? To be honest, I think it probably did well because it hit the people that don't care about crocheting. Because I was genuinely interested. I don't crochet, but I am curious on why, like how to make yarn glow. Like how do you charge yarn? That's not a question I'd ever ask, but I'm going to stick around to find the answer. And so the lesson to take here is the more you can make crocheting about appeal to general audiences that don't care about crocheting, the better, right? If you can connect it to any like general curiosity that like what could you make people curious about this water bottle? Like what, like it's the same thing, right? I'm not genuinely interested in this water bottle, but if there's like something neat about it, like this was actually made from human bone or something, I don't know, like, nobody has any idea what bottle caps are made of, and if they found out, they'd be devastated, right? Now, everybody's interested in this fucking water bottle, and it's just because I made it appealing to the masses, and so you could do that with yarn, you could do that with anything, and you did it really, really well here. So just try to consider, like, what other things could work with yarn and make people curious. Okay, going back to normal people, non-VIPs, let's give it a spin. 100 humans? Man, I don't know. I got a feeling the gorilla's gonna take that one. I mean, humans, you know, like, I'm only assuming that they don't have a weapon. Because, like, if they had spears, then it's over. Like, humans did that for thousands of years. They hunt in packs. Humans are the ultimate predator because they don't stop. They just fucking keep going until the thing is tired out, and they're really good at making tools. But I asked clothes because if they're not wearing any clothes, odds are they're not having anything. And so, yeah. Weird question.
This rider doesn't have a throttle. Once this bike starts, it cannot be slowed down. The only thing that can stop it is the fuel running out. Because this man doesn't ride a motorcycle. He sits on a hydrogen peroxide rocket that converts chemical pressure into pure thrust at 1200 degrees.
Okay, you say you struggle with writing the hooks, but the hook was fine on this one. Okay, last time you reviewed me, you called out the AI sounding narration. I've been trying to fix the scripting since then, but I genuinely struggle with the writing, the hooks, the voice, the structure. You know what? This seems fine. I want actionable advice I can execute on, not just write better. Here's the Eric T Rocket Bike short. It's okay.
Rider doesn't have a throttle. Once this bike starts, it cannot be.
You started immediately with stakes. It feels fine. I mean, okay, let's see where the drop-off point is.
Slowed down. The only thing that can stop it is the fuel running out. Because this man doesn't ride a motorcycle. He sits on a hydrogen peroxide rocket that converts chemical pressure into pure thrust at 1200 degrees through rear nozzles. At speed, stopping isn't part of the...
At this point, I think people get it, right? So the stakes have been answered. Like this guy, yeah. That's it, right? You made people curious about it, and then that was it.
This rider doesn't have a throttle.
Why? Okay.
Once this bike starts, it cannot be slowed down.
It can't be slowed down. And then you answer that shortly after because it's just, it goes until it runs out of fuel. And then, like, there's not much more that keeps me curious.
At speed, stopping isn't part of the design. The fuel tank is the only limit. So before...
yeah, I know. You're just saying the same thing.
Every single run, he makes one calculation. How much fuel to load? Too much, and the bike outlasts...
I don't think people got here. The majority of... I mean, maybe, but, yeah, I feel 809,000, I guess. That's interesting that you would just use the same thing as your description.
Last the track. So when he's strapped in for his final retirement run at Santa Pod for...
1 second. So, when you got this bike thing, are you saying anything new compared to like what the original talked about? Or did the original also say the same thing? Because that's like gonna be a problem. Some people can get away with it once, maybe, but it's like, it's one of those things where, yeah, it looks like you added to it, okay, because these are all just like setups. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I probably wouldn't be interested in this right here. Like, that's probably where I'd drop off. I think it's honestly because I see this type of subtitle a lot. It feels very automated. So, like, if you're using the same stuff that everybody else does, maybe it feels that way. But, like, it seemed to work, right? This got a lot of views, so I'm not so sure what you're worried about anymore. Are you struggling with your other stuff? Is that why? 1.9, 199, 134. I don't know, man. It seems like you kind of locked into a format, so I guess I would just keep pushing on. I mean, if you were truly stealing the content, YouTube would know. And so, like, I don't need to go and do that research. Like, you're adding to it, you're explaining things about it. That's transformative to me. So, yeah, man, I would just keep it up. Just try not to repeat the same stuff over and over. Like, try to recognize why people are curious in the first place and when you answer that curiosity. Because the moment that you clear that up, they're going to leave unless you say but, and then you add something else. All right, Zol Polly. Sorry, there we go.
Her boyfriend to climb inside a suitcase and locked it on him. She left him trapped there for hours, and while he struggled and begged...
1 second. They said, you reviewed this short before, but you didn't get to my point on the issue. Oftentimes, the point that people try to make is not the issue, but I'll go for it here. It's not the script, it's the swipe rate. Okay, it's bad, 65 to 70. So, like, when something performs bad, it's all the same shit to me. It's all the same stuff. Like, I'm not like gonna pick apart a specific analytic because that doesn't matter. It doesn't at all. People swipe when they're not interested, and so you made something that they're not interested. The advice I give people makes their content interesting. So I might not have gotten to your question, but my advice, it's not gonna change. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move on. I had somebody do this once before where they emailed me, like, they're like, you didn't answer my question. I'm like, I gave you what you needed, okay? I'm sorry. But if that's not good enough, then you don't have to watch.
If you get hit by a tsunami, would you die from drowning or impact?
And that was nothing against you, by the way. Like, a lot of people don't understand that the analytics don't quite matter. It's just, you know, I'm trying to... I'm trying to do this stuff, like, the way that I know I have to, and it just, you know, it's a bummer sometimes.
If you get hit by a tsunami, would you die from drowning or impact? It's none of them. Well, the
Ooh, nice.
first thing people think is impact, because you can't survive a giant wave.
That's good. I like that.
Right? Everybody thinks a tsunami hits you so fast, but a tsunami starts in the middle of an ocean. And when it arrives the beach, it would already slow down. Well, even though it slows down, doesn't mean it won't injure you, but it won't kill you too. So what actually kills you? Well, when a tsunami hits the beach is not empty. There are some buildings, chairs...
I can tell you really tried on the eye line here, because I'm not having trouble following. This is very, very good.
...and stuff like that. And when a tsunami hits you, before you even drown, you would already die from a car hitting you.
Oh, shit.
If you get hit by a tsunami...
Okay, all right. The only thing about this that I'm thinking is probably hurting it is it's just a little long for the point that you're getting to. So sometimes shorts can insist upon their hook, and they can, like, keep saying it over and over, and, like, by the third time, people are like, oh my god, they're never gonna get to it, and so they'll leave. And so that's kind of how this felt a little bit. Let me see what you asked. I posted this video yesterday, and I used a different hook, which I thought was good, but then I showed the short to my friend at school and asked him to scroll whenever he would, right in the middle of my hook. I don't know, and he scrolled right in the middle of the hook. Yeah, your friend's an asshole. But I would never show my stuff to my friends or family, ever, because they're not your target audience. People that know you are biased. Whether they're going to be nice to you or mean to you, it doesn't matter. There are too many variables in there to consider, and so... fuck your friends. Like, don't do that, right? That's why I say show it to creators that know. Because the only other people that you can show it to are people that you don't know. And so that's when you post on YouTube and you get your results. But creators in the community, they have the wherewithal, the awareness to know how to judge as a viewer if they were that audience. But I would never show my friends, my family, nothing, because either they're going to be nice or they have a different agenda on the inside. And to be honest, dude, a lot of people don't want you to succeed. That's just life. That's how it is. And so the moment that people find out you're on YouTube, they see something that they wish they could do, but they can't for this reason or that reason. They're scared. And you're like putting yourself out there, something they wish they could do, and they need to bring you back to their level. And so always consider that you have a higher status and people need to take you down. That's why hate comments exist. Just something to consider. Okay, now to answer the question. 1 million ants or 1 elephant? 1 million, that's it? To be honest, I think the ants would starve before they even took down the elephant. 1 million ants is not a lot, right? Let's see. How many ants in the average anthill in Ohio? 500,000. Yeah, so 2 anthills versus an elephant. You do the math. I don't think that question was worth $2. Okay. This person says,
I learned wave consistency in 1 day. I learned wave consistency in
okay, audio-wise, I don't hear the word consistency, and so that might turn people away. But I also don't know what wave consistency means, and so if there's a simpler way to say this, it might help you, depending. But people that play the game that you're talking about also might understand it, right? Like, if it's a common game term, then you have a very specific audience. I'm not your target audience, but if you want millions and millions and billions of views, then like that's the next level. You gotta simplify it even more to appeal to dumbasses like me. But
I learned wave consistency in 1 day. Here's how. On hour 1, I wasn't consistent at all. I needed to find a good way to practice, so I decided to grind a few easier wave consistency challenges to get better. After a few hours, I beat this level, and this level. Finally, I felt ready for something harder. So I found a real wave consistency challenge to put everything I learned to the test. And after a few more hours of grinding, I got this run.
oh man, that percentage thing is, I don't know if that's a part of the game, but that really locks in the curiosity.
I learned wave
Holy shit. Okay,
in 1
this
day.
is fine, man. You said I use AI voice because I feel when I do voiceovers, I sound stupid. I did too. I mean, like, honestly, when YouTube didn't exist when I went through that struggle. I had to get on stage and sing, and I was an actor in high school and stuff like that. And like, I had to get over that probably when I was like 14, right? And so I went through that. I felt stupid. I never wanted to watch recordings of myself, but I still wanted to play guitar. I still wanted to sing. I still wanted to do whatever I did. And eventually I got over it in high school, because the only way you can get over it is by exposure therapy. And so you have to do it. You have to experience it. You have to get over it. And then when you do, and you go back and you look at how you felt back then, you'll realize, holy shit, nobody gave a fuck, because they don't. Nobody actually cares. But for some reason, we're all so critical of ourselves over things that we can't control that we let it get in the way of our goals. And it's a tough thing to get over. I can't say it's fine. Nobody cares, because that doesn't help you. What I can say is I've been there, and I felt like a moron looking back thinking it mattered, because it did not. Dude, when I was in middle school, I thought I had the stupidest voice. My brother and I have the same voice. It's very weird. And so I thought like we just sounded stupid as shit. And so I think I remember like one of my first girlfriends, I thought I heard her say to one of her friends that she hated my voice. And she didn't. She definitely didn't. Nobody cares. But for some reason I imagined that. And so like my feelings were all hurt and shit. I never even said anything. But like it's so weird how we think about ourselves. Perspective. It'll crawl up on you. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta roll, guys. We got some ads to build, Will and I. So I will catch you next Monday, because we got a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, those that I did review, I hope I helped. And those that I didn't, I hope I see you next Monday. Take her easy.